Hey everybody, welcome back to War Budgies. Welcome to Fallout Season 3, Episode 3, continuation of the Welcome to Daylight campaign. As of last episode, we actually founded the Settlement of Daylight. So we have a settlement now, so we're going to move into settlement mode at the beginning of each episode. So when I'm done with this intro, we're going to walk through how settlement mode works and what kind of bonuses we're going to generate from the settlement as it grows throughout the campaign. So the voting for this episode was actually really close, which I thought was cool. By a hair, Dogmeat won out as MVP, so he'll be getting a free random boost card at the start of this scenario. As a reminder, if you are watching this episode the first day it comes out, on Sunday, vote in the comments below who you think was the MVP, and whoever gets the most votes by the end of Sunday will get a boost card for the next episode. As far as voting on the course of action, by a very narrow, I believe, 2 votes, you guys voted to fortify defenses around the Settlement of Daylight itself. So when this opens up, we're going to go exploring some caves. We're going to try to see if we can figure out where the cables from that weird light, where those go to, because they go underground. We're not sure where. So we're going to go spelunking today. I would like to add a quick note just to let you guys know, the options that don't get selected each week are not going to go away. It's very much like side quests in the Fallout video game. They're still going to be there. You'll see some options be familiar. They're going to resurface. So if your favorite choice doesn't get picked, it's okay. You will most likely see it come back around. And as a reminder for that part, you haven't, from the time this video goes up until the end of the day on Wednesday, to vote for the next course of action. There will be a link to a poll in the description below. So make sure to let your voice be heard, and that is going to dictate where the story goes and what the characters do. So welcome back. Let's go check out the Settlement of Daylight. All right, and welcome back to Daylight. So Nora and the gang have cleaned up the place like we all did in Fallout 4. They run around and scrap everything. So every new settlement starts off with a series of structures and no caps at the beginning, which we'll use to build structures later on. So we are going to start off with a small generator right here. Another small generator right here. Those will generate 6 power between them. We got a maintenance shed, which is this cargo container right here, and a store, which we got the startings of a store right there, plus a listening post, which we can use for explore cards, which is this dish up here on top of the boat, cabin, nautical term, I don't know. So that is your starting settlement loadout, and then as we progress along and gain caps, we can build more and more structures here. But at the start of every battle, we're going to come back to Daylight and we're going to run through the settlement mode sequence. And it starts off with, you look at how many caps you have and decide if you want to buy or build more structures. At the moment, we're a brand new settlement, so we have no caps. We will not be building anything. After the build step comes the draw step. So various structures will allow you to draw cards from the item decks. So a clothing stand or an armor stand or weapon stand, whatever, will let you bring new cards or generate new cards and bring them into battle. Each store that you have will allow you to bring 1 more item into battle. Now at this point in time, we have no trading stands, weapon stands, or anything of the sort, but we are going to go ahead and draw a random item just to kick things off. Now I'm not actually going to draw that in front of you guys, and here's the reason. I'm weirdly organized and all my cards are in these things, so I can't really shuffle the deck. So I'm going to use some dice to determine what page and what line and all that, and I'll show you guys here in a second what we come up with. And we generated some iguana bits, which restore health but add a little bit of rads, or you can cook them to make iguana soup. After item cards are drawn, we can then resolve the explore phase, which we're going to use as listening posts for. Normally, you would spend 50 caps to use the listening post once, and you can then draw an explore card and resolve it. Once again, we do not have 50 caps at the moment, but for the sake of showing off settlement mode, we are going to go ahead and use listening post 1 free time. And our intrepid explorers have run across easy pickings. So there's an apartment block near Trinity Tower. It's relatively unpillaged, so we're going to get a free food or clothing item. And then we can optionally stay and fight the defenses, draw 2 more items, but 1 model will start the next battle already activated. All right, so the first item that came out of easy pickings was a spiked muzzle for Dogmeat, which will give him a little bit of extra armor kick or armor break. They're actually going to stop there. They're not going to do the Easy Pickings challenge to try to get more items because they're only allowed to bring 1 into combat because they've only got 1 store. At the end of all the drawing, the Daylight pool for this battle is going to be a spiked muzzle and iguana bits. Once again, they only have 1 store, so they can only take 1 of these into battle. Pretty obviously, a spike muzzle has a lot more potential to it, so the iguana bits will be sold for their 20 cat value. The settlement goes up to a 20 cat bank, and we are just about ready to roll. And since Dogmeat was voted goodest boy for last combat, for this battle he receives a random boost card, which will be Use Your Body. So before he makes a roll, he can swap one yellow, green, or blue die for a black die instead. Well, that explains where the power comes from. What is it? It's a vault. The outside of one anyways. Looks like a maintenance section. You think we could maybe use that to power our,
Oh, Mum, look! Mirelurks!
Codsworth?
Mirelurk eggs! Mum, may I take these back to the settlement?
Codsworth, if you say the word omelet, I'm gonna throw up. Oh, heavens no, but I think this may be a solution to one of our problems. Alright, Codsworth, just be careful on the way back up. You don't suppose those eggs belonged to nobody, did they? And here we are in the caverns below daylight. Our board today is a little bit odd. These are going to be some tiles I made up for a game called Broken Contract, which I actually hope to do some videos about at some point. And then we've got the outside edge of a vault, weirdly enough. And I've removed the cable because it was getting in the way. But the mysterious lights upstairs are actually jacked into the power of the vault through the wall, which is kind of unusual, and I'm sure that will be relevant once we've stopped panicking for our lives, because we've got Mirelurks. Our scenario today is going to be a variation on the DC Metro Raid scenario from Modiphius. That is usually played on open ground with ghouls. We're playing it underground with Mirelurks because that's how we roll. We've got 3 investigation markers here, another one here, and the last one inside up against the vault there. There are 4 Mirelurks, 3 Mirelurk hatchlings. The eggs don't do anything for right now, they are just terrain for today. The trouble is the Mirelurks are going to keep coming because this is kind of their home and they're well entrenched there. It's not like upstairs where to get rid of the ghouls, you just shove the cargo containers in the ocean. There's no getting rid of these guys. So Nora and the gang need to grab whatever supplies they can get to try to patch into this power source and get themselves back upstairs quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the way that's going to work is they have to get to each investigation marker and pass an agility test in order to scavenge the appropriate components from it, after which that investigation marker is good. The game is a maximum length of 8 rounds, after which the survivors are going to get a bonus 70 caps for every marker that they've managed to scavenge. We're also going to be adding these to the board since we are doing settlement mode. If the scenario doesn't call for searchable items, I'm going to be adding these. So these are going to be little search markers. It's going to be a danger, an item, just item, and then a blank. And with those on the board, we are ready for the kickoff. Just as a reminder on equipment, Nora is heroic. She has her hunting rifle, and she is using the Soul Survivor card. Benji, scavenger card with a bolt action pipe rifle. Dogmeat has his dog bite, but he is also wearing the spiked muzzle that they picked up at the Easy Pickens exploration. The survivors are wildly outnumbered, so they will be going first, and they kind of have to strategize a little bit. The markers are in very different sections, but splitting up, obviously, if you've played any sort of RPG before, don't split the party. So it's a question of, do we hit them all at once or do we try to spread out? We'll find out going into survivors turn 1. And leading off the turn is going to be Nora herself. Nora Vats roll. No Vats. So the initial plan, and we'll see how well this works out, the initial plan is for Nora to move in on this group down here, which is the largest group. Dogmeat, we'll try to separate these guys out. Benji will be an opportunist and go for the items and see what we can come up with. Hopefully something useful like, I don't know, a minigun or a frag grenade, who knows. Nora does have good range on her hunting rifle though, so she will skip down to here with her move action. And we'll then put a hunting rifle shot into first of the Mirelurks, the big guys. Hitting on 7s. Oh, good hit with the bonus damage. It has 3 damage. The Mirelurks have 2+1 armor. They are natively strong armor, which is bad news. 2+1, and he takes 1. They also have 6 health apiece. They're not terribly dangerous on their own, but they are tanky little dudes. And that Mirelurk is the one that gets selected to activate. He is just outside a red charge range, which is how we like it. So instead, he's going to take a yellow move. Go for a scuttle over here. And we'll finish up with a charge into Nora. He picks up a black die for that charge, and next we'll move to Benji, who scuttles up here. And let's see what we get. We get a danger card. Benji has discovered a glowing 1 corpse inside of this crate. We are not asking questions as to how that happened. He has to test intelligence in order to keep his distance, or will need to resolve some rad damage. Thankfully, Benji has intelligence of 7, I assume from hanging around Cotsworth. Benji is not having the best day. He's going to take 1 rad plus a black die. Nothing on the black die. So he opens a crate, there's a green flash. Benji says things that I can't repeat on a family channel, and he is a rad now. Rather than risk the wrath of Mirelurks there and there, he's going to turn and shoot his bolt action pipe rifle into the mess of hatchlings over here. He's going to be hitting on 3s. All right, wow, all right, good shot. 4 damage total. Hatchlings have 3 health and no armor whatsoever, so they will simply be deleted. In case you're thinking Benji's a bad person for that, well, for one, you're probably right. For another, you've probably never played Fallout and had them come towards you in a giant swarm. So that's an easy one for Benji. Back over to the Lurks. Hatchlings back by the vault activate. They are very much like rad roaches in the sense that they have random movement when they don't have a target. And after 2 moves, they end up essentially right in the doorway. Meanwhile, Dogmeat is going to be the hero we all need. He's going to make a charge. He charges blue, which is absolutely staggering. Charge into the Mirelurk over here. Dogmeat's feeling kind of bold, so he's going to use your body, exchange his green die for a black die, pick up another black die for the charge, hitting on 6s. There you go. Not a whole lot of action there, but still pretty good. 3 damage against 2+1. And the Lurk takes 1. Dogmeat gets prepare action because of the star he rolled, and we're going to roll on to all the remaining Mirelurks. One inside the vault will hustle forward. He does not have line of sight to Benji. We're considering these walls to extend all the way upwards. So he cannot charge and will simply scuttle forward some more. These hatchlings will skitter up yellow, and we'll loop around for a charge onto Nora. Last Mirelurk over here also wants to charge Benji, but cannot actually see Benji from where he is. So he will go for the nearest in line of sight, which, just like his buddies, is going to be our girl Nora. Got a whole seafood buffet open up over here. And this Mirelurk is then going to turn and attack this weird furry thing that tried to bite him. Mirelurk Claw hits on 5. It's got a yellow, black, and a green die. The trick is, it's only 1 damage, but every bottle cap is a bonus damage. And I just dropped the green die. And we're back, hitting on 5s. No, Dogmeat, you skirted by there. Lurky will get a second attack, but first Dogmeat is going to spin his prepare to retaliate. Normally hitting on 6s, hitting on 4s now. And it's a hit, and the Mushroom Cloud breaks the thing's arm. 2 damage against 2+1 armor. He blocks all of it. So Lurky doesn't take any damage, but he will get a -2 for his attacks, which is good because second attack's coming at Dogmeat. Hitting on 3s now. See, that's really good because that would have been a hit. And that wraps up turn 1. All we've discovered so far is that Nora is wildly popular, and this box had nothing but glowing dead things. So there's still quite a ways away from this marker and this one. But most of the defenders of this are gone, and if Dogmeat gets lucky, he can knock this guy out, or just go ahead and make a dash for the objective. We'll find out after these messages on turn 2. Our event card for turn 2 is going to be quiet, so the still air makes activity easier to notice. All reactions are going to be at +2 bonus. And much like before, we're going to start off with Nora because she needs to kind of get herself out of this position. Nora VATS roll. Still no VATS. Nora's going to draw her hunting rifle down on the hatchlings. She's in close combat, so -2, and we'll give them 1 armor. She'll be hitting on 5s. Oh, and just barely made it with 3 damage. 3 damage against 1 armor. And they saved by just a hair. Saving by a hair, probably not the right word to use with Mirelurks, but they have 1 health left. Nora's going to let him have it again on 5s. 5s again is good. That's 2 damage against 1 armor, so they are removed. That fully charges Nora's crit, but we are going to jump over to the Mirelurk directly in front of her with his black die charge bonus. All right, here's the fun part. We've got the Mirelurk bunch. We've got a black die for the charge, green die for a friend. 1 damage, but bottle caps will be a bonus damage. So the potential for an ouch. Okay, so that's a hit. Quick action, 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, plus an armor break. Armor break brings Nora down to 2+1 with her survivor strong armor bonus. Gets 3 damage. All right, she takes 2. And the Mirelurk will go again. All right, second shot, no longer a charge bonus, but we still get a bonus green die for having a friend, hitting on 5s. And that's a hard miss. Next up on the survivor turn, Dogmeat is going to step out of combat, which will draw an attack from the Lurk. And if he's lucky, then he will start to dig into this pile of spare parts. Dogmeat has agility 6. He will try to tunnel through the garbage to find something good. And he does. So that's 1 marker removed. 70 caps for the survivors. Meanwhile, the other Mirelurk down here is going to attack Nora. Being on 5s. 5s it is, thankfully nothing else. 1 damage against 3 armor. And she blocks it. Mirelurk second attack. 8, 7, 5. Yep, that's good. 5. 3 damage, no armor. 3 damage against 3 armor. And she's fine. Somewhere the hair on the back of Paladin Cormac's neck stood up. He senses someone else is being a tank out here. Now Benji has something vaguely resembling a plan. We're going to remove this prepare token. He's going to duck down here. Yellow move gets him to right at this corner. And then try to skirt past the combat, making a dash for the investigation marker. Meanwhile, the Mirelurk hatchlings have wandered up into this corner. This Mirelurk now has a clean charge down on Benji. He's out in the open. So he'll rush down, skitter, 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 and slam into him. Extra black die for the charge, hitting on 5s. Oh yeah, that's a hit. 3 damage total. That's 3 damage against Benji's 2 armor. Okay, he blocks both. He'll take 1 damage in addition to his rads, which brings him down to 3 health total. Finally, Angry Crab is going to be angry. Charge into Dogmeat. Try to finish this problem. Also taking a black die for the charge, hitting on 3s. Oh, wow. All right, 4 damage with an armor break. 4 damage against Dogmeat's 2+1. Oh, wow. So Dogmeat takes 3 of his 6 health. I'd have to take back what I said earlier about the Lurks not being that punchy. This is pretty brutal. But with that, we'll wrap up turn 2. Nora still holding down the fort over here. Benji got someone on his tail, but he is closing in on this marker. Last marker doesn't have really any Mirelurks around it yet. We're only going to respawn the big Lurks. We're not respawning the hatchlings. So Dogmeat took a big hit there, but he might be able to make a play in to pick up that marker. We'll see how it goes going into round 3. All right, the card for turn 3 is going to be Diamond City Radio because somehow we get reception down here. You just heard crawl out through the fall. Not now, Travis! In the hopes of some lucky dice rolls, because these Lurks are still distracted with Nora, Benji is going to move out of combat and try to make a play for this marker over yonder. Mirelurks is having none of his yonder and will hit on 3s. Yep, there we go. So that's bonus damage with an armor break. 2 damage against 1 armor. He takes 2 damage. He's down to his last health as he viciously tears at the ground trying to find this stupid cable. Agility on 5. That's a bummer, Benji. Well, this nearest Mirelurk is going to take a swing at Nora. Hitting on 5s. 2, all right, good hit with a little bit of extra damage. 3 damage against 3 armor. Oh, that's not good. 3 damage, Nora will spend the first of her luck tokens to try to reduce it by 1. All right, she only takes 2 damage from that. Still brings her down to 4 of her 8 health as that Mirelurk is getting ready to swing again. On 5s. There you go, another hit, another 3 damage. 3 damage against 3 armor. Blocks 2, takes 1. Nora's not liking the situation she's in, so she will roll for her VATS and go next. Rolling for VATS. Hey, 1 VATS. She's going to use her quick action to execute a crit shot into the Mirelurk right in front of her. Shot automatically hits, deals 4 damage plus 2 armor break. So the Mirelurk's normally at 2 plus 1. You would get 1 extra from being in close combat against a ranged attack. -2, so 1 plus 1 against 4 damage. And he takes 3 of the 4 damage. He's down to 2 health left, but he will use his prepare action to retaliate. Hitting on 3s for the quick action. Nope, not even close. Nora's going to hit him again with a hunting rifle. 7, no, not with the -2 for being in combat. Use her second luck point to bring that down to 5, if she's lucky, which would hit. She's not lucky, that missed. And final shot, same thing, same Mirelurk, on 5s. 7s, oh, so close. She's hoping to save some of this luck to survive attacks, but you know, good defense is good offense or something like that. So on a luck, she will hit. She hits with the bonus damage. That is 3 damage against 3 plus 1 armor. And he takes 1. Mirelurk has taken 5 of his 6 health, but bad news for Nora, he is still on his 4 scrabbly little legs. This Mirelurk will skitter in and try to finish off Benji. Extra green die for the charge, hitting on 5s. Yep, hit with an armor break. 1 damage against 1 armor, and Benji has 1 health remaining. And he goes down. Benji goes down in a heap and just gets repeatedly curb stomped by this crab until the crab gets tired of it. Meanwhile, Big Hero Dogmeat is going to declare a red run all the way into this open doorway. Mirelurk will tag him on 1s, which he does not roll. Dogmeat skitters on through. Put him on the far side of this little barricade. He will check the item. Oh, thank God it's actually an item. Dogmeat found a fragmentation mine in the box. So not gonna do a whole lot right now, but it is a good item to hang on to for later. And the heavily wounded and personally offended Mirelurk is going to start snapping at Nora with the crab claws. Crab claws commence. 6, 5, that's a 5 double armor break. So 2 damage, -2 armor. 2 damage against 1 armor. She takes 2 damage. Nora on her last legs, the thing swings again. 8, no, just barely a miss. Final Mirelurk will scamper all the way in here after Dogmeat, making a charge, the move then a charge, and he'll take a green die for his bonus next turn. And the hatchlings, with no enemies still in sight, wander down to this doorway. All right, moving into turn 4, things are looking pretty bleak. The survivor's best chance right now, Dogmeat can make it over to that objective marker. He can pick up another 70 caps for him. But then they might have to bail out pretty soon because Nora is down to her last health against these 2 lurks. And once this guy is done kicking Benji in the kidney, he's going to come over and join. So let's move into turn 4 and see what they can do before they have to bail. And for this turn, we've got a neutral party has arrived. We have added them within yellow, the short board edge over here. Odds are we won't end up interacting, but you never know. All right, moving into Survivor turn. Nora's best odds at this point are to hope for a really good VATS roll and finally be able to drop this first Mirelurk. Nora VATS roll. Come on, good VATS. She's gonna start with her hunting rifle, hitting on 5s. Good hit with an armor break. Has 2 damage against 1+1 armor. And he blocks it. Has 2 damage against 1+1 armor. And it goes through. But finally, this big old crab crumbles to the ground. And Nora is okay on one of 2 fronts now. Be something of a risky move, but she'll use her first quick action to declare backup out of combat and hope that the crab swings and misses. He doesn't have his buddy, so he's down a green die, hitting on 3s. Oh, yep, there we go. And she'll use her second full action to retreat back to the grate. See what we get on the tag. It's empty. And her final quick action will be, naturally, a hunting rifle shot at the Mirelurk. On 7s. Good hit. 2 damage, 1+1 armor. And he blocks it. The Mirelurk, which is dogpiled onto dog meat, is going to go next. He's got a green die for his charge, and he's hitting on 3s. Nope on the first shot. Move the green die. And nope on the second shot. Very slim chance the survivors might be able to pull this one off. Dog meat breaks away. And we'll get the free attack. Hitting on 1s. Nothing. Dog meat reaches the next marker with ease. And we'll make an agility test to try to dig through it. Dog meat agility 6. He makes it. It is 2 markers, so 140 caps for the survivors. Mirelurk hatchlings are next, and they finally have a target within range. So they will make a charge action yellow into dog meat and try to nibble some fur off. They'll be hitting on 4s, taking a black die for the charge. And nothing doing on that one. Resolving a second attack because the hatchling's claw, they resolve 1 attack for every 2 health rounded up, and they are at 3 health. Nothing. Now it's up to the lurks. So a red charge into Nora, and she will retaliate with her prepared action. No penalty on the prepared action because she is being charged, so hitting on 7s. That's unfortunate. She kind of wants to spend that last luck token right now, but I think she might need it for this coming attack. Mirelurk takes a green die for the charge, coming in on 5s. Oh, that is a hit with a bonus damage, so 2 damage. 2 damage against 3 armor. And she blocks it. Final lurk. Keeping with his AI card, he will move towards the nearest enemy in line of sight. 1. And outside charge range, he'll just hustle up here. At the end of the turn, the stranger moves yellow in a random direction, ending up about here. That closes out turn 4. We're doing, I don't want to say well, but they are holding on. Nora, some phenomenal dice rolls there. Dog meat being all evasive and running around. Might have another shot, but we've got a Mirelurk out of action, which means we're going to respawn him. As part of the Metro Raid scenario, they are only allowed to respawn from active investigation markers, so he will show up from here. And with that, Nora is going to issue the bailout order, and they are going to skedaddle with a quickness. It's going to be a Mirelurks victory, so the survivors will get 120 caps instead of the 200 for winning, but they have picked up 2 pieces of equipment, so they'll pick up an extra 70 from each of those. That's what, 140, 60. We'll do the math later. Our mysterious stranger on the sidelines was going to be an informer, so that's interesting. And for those who are curious, Benji's fine. He just played dead until the crabs lost interest.
Welcome back, Mum. The little lurks are tightly tucked in their... Why is Master Benji bleeding?
I had him. I promise, I had him. I'm sure you did.
You there on the ship.
Who are you?
This whole time we thought this boat was abandoned. You must be good with a gun. You done cleaned this out. Look, there's a fight to be had down at the graveyard. Lots of muties, lots of caps if you pull your weight. You want in?
And that concludes episode 3. The moral of the story is don't screw around with Mirelurks. This is actually my first time bringing them in game, and I'm really impressed. You will no doubt be seeing more of these guys in the future. Spoiler. Anyways, as far as next episode goes, obviously we've got a curious individual now who's come to see what all the ruckus is about and to see what the giant light is about. And he's got an interesting proposition for us. So here are the options. Again, you can go to the poll linked in the description to vote. The options are: 1, he seems like an upstanding individual. Let's go with him and recruit into this operation he's got going on. 2, it's probably a trap. We should follow him discreetly from a distance and see what he's up to. 3, we should ignore him and see what we can turn up about this mysterious vault that our settlement is now plugged into. Just as a reminder, a lot of these options and little side quests are not going to go away. You can come around back to them later on. For now, please cast your vote between now and Wednesday evening. Thank you very much for joining us for Fallout, and thanks for watching.